All right, hi everybody. I was just making this video real quick because I'm trying to look up a lot of different ways to get the retro sticker off of the retro collection cards. Obviously, I have figured out a way to do that pretty effectively. Um, what you've got is a lot of different people saying, things like lighter fluid. I don't really want to put lighter fluid on my figures. It's going to have a little bit of smell to it. Different kinds of things with Q-tips and whatnot. But I found a pretty easy process that I want to share with everybody real quick, and I'll take you through it. And so what this process involves is a hair dryer, as well as some regular old olive oil from your kitchen, and some tissues. If you've got that material, then you can easily get these off without any kind of a problem. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to tell you a couple warnings. Number one, these are my own figures, so I've decided to do this because I like the way they look without it. But I don't want you to think that they're going to come away looking spotless. They are pretty damn close, but not all the way. And, I haven't torn anything yet because I go very, very slowly. So be patient with this process and you'll be all right. You might have to use the hair dryer 5 or 6 times for 15 to 20 seconds at a time. You might have to use 5 or 6 tissues with olive oil on a figure. So it just depends. Now, I did do Wave 2, and Wave 2, man, that one worked out beautifully. That one came off very, very quickly without a problem. However, I've had Wave 1 sitting in my storage for over a year. So the bond between the sticker and the card is a little bit stronger. But I'm going to go through the exact same process I did with Wave 2 to help you. Hopefully, if you want to do this, it'll work out well for your figures as well. So I'm working here with Farm Boy Luke from Wave 1. Like I said, this, who knows, has probably been 18 months with the sticker on it. One thing that you want to do right off the bat is you want to be very, very careful with this bubble. This bubble will warp if you use the hair dryer very closely on it. So what I do is I put a paper towel here on the edge of my kitchen counter, and I put the figure with the bubble facing down, hanging over the edge right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the hair dryer for 20 seconds on high, 15 to 20 seconds on high, and I'm going to face it away from the bubble. Don't face it straight down, don't face it coming back at you, face it away from the bubble. So I'm going to go about 15, 20 seconds here with this. Alright, so first thing I want to do is don't be in a hurry getting the sticker off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to just lift up the sides. And this is hot. That hair dryer on high gets pretty warm. So what I'm going to first start doing is just simply lifting up the edges of the sticker. I'm not trying to pull up the whole thing right now. I'm just simply lifting up as much around the edge that I can. Now, one thing that I have noticed is I have my nails not very short but not very long, so I try to use as much of an angle as I can to come straight in with my nail, because I have noticed on some of my figures when I do this, I do have some markings where my nail hit the edge or hit the card back, but you can only see it under the light, but you got to be very careful with that. So I've gone ahead and made a little bit of a lift right there, and I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process once again with the hair dryer for about 15 seconds on high. Okay, and the lift, again, this will be very warm, and you'll feel it starts to get a little bit less sticky. You definitely can start to feel it. It starts to come away a little simpler. So I've got a decent section pulled away as of right now, or at least started. So as you can see, I can start to lift that up right there. Now, don't get excited about that, because if you do that, that's fantastic. But notice I'm not doing it very much. I'm just getting it started. And again, back to the hair dryer. And this time when I do the hair dryer, I'm going to hold it up on front of me. But if you'll notice, I've got my finger right there along the edge of the bubble to keep it from getting that heat. And I'm going to again do it kind of at an angle so it goes away from the bubble, again for about 15 seconds. Now my hope is, with that, this bubble will come Oh wow, look at that. This bubble will come right, or excuse me, the sticker. I had some difficulty with Darth Vader, a little bit of difficulty with Han Solo the first couple times I did it, but after that it became kind of a little bit better. And I want you to see that right there. Look, that sticker came off 100% whole. Didn't have to tear it. Look at that. Now you can see those binoculars on Luke and it looks a lot better. So now the secondary part of this, the secondary part, very important part, is to get rid of that residue. That residue is nasty, it's holding up, it's sticky. So what I've got is I just use some cooking oil, all right, put it on a plate, tissue paper, not paper towels, tissue paper. Tissue paper is nice and soft, that way it lets you do that. Go ahead and got that on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub this in a circular motion. And don't worry, as far as I can tell, and I don't know about over time, but as far as I can tell immediately, this is not hurting the card. So I put some pressure on it, but not super hard. And I'm going in a circular motion. You should see little pieces come up. And then I'm going to wipe it off with the other side of the tissue. I'm not even going to look yet because I know it needs more. So that initial one was to get the first layer off. I'm going to go ahead and do this process once again with that corn oil. Go ahead, circular motion once again. You'll see little specks start to come off of both the residue and of the tissue. Circular motion works well. Flip over the tissue to the dry side. Go ahead and rub that off. Again, I know it's still not done, and I haven't put an immense amount of pressure on it because I'm just trying to get the residue off to begin with. But as you go, you'll see that it's easier and easier, less sticky as you go to get this going and to get this off. So I'm thinking after this one, I'm going to go ahead and check to see how it looks. So you want to hold that up to the light, of course. Check it out. Yeah, I'm pretty happy that this one is done. If you look, my finger just goes right across there. No stickiness at all. It's just a perfect removal of that. Card looks great. Put that in a case. Now you've got your own very well fixed up retro vintage card. And I don't think anybody's going to be confusing this, Hasbro, if you're listening, for a vintage card, because the back doesn't look anything like the vintage card and it's got the dates on it. So if you're listening, Hasbro, please get rid of the retro sticker. We hate it. Thanks, guys.